This is about pronunciation. Okay, so I'm gonna teach you some rules on how to pronounce words. So hopefully this will be very beneficial to you. So, guide to pronunciation. Spanish spelling is an exact reflection of the pronunciation of the language. The pronunciation of each letter is subject to precise and consistent rules, and words are pronounced by adding together the sounds of each individual letter. So, let's go to vowels. Vowels, the sound of the vowels are clear and short. Pronounce the examples. So, letter, A, E, O, U, Y, pronounced like A. The A in father. Examples, la casa, la tapa, Panama, Canada, Canada. Because there's a little accent over there. I'm going to teach you that as well. Panama, Canada. The E has two sounds. The E in café, the when final, and the E on set elsewhere. So, for example, elefante, come, vive, verde, que, pero, es, hotel. The I in machine. So you pronounce it like an E. Sí, cine, comida. All right. Then the O, two sounds. The O in hope, oso, otro hospital. The O in for, if followed by R, doctor, profesor. The U in rule, uno, two, puro. Written U with this little two dots over here. When pronounced with G-U-E, we, and G-U-I, we, güero, güira. All right. So I don't know if I need to translate these words as well. So, okay, la casa means a house, la tapa means a tap or the lid, Panama, you know what that means, Panama, Canada, elefante means elephant, come means eat, vive means live, verde means green, que means what or, yeah, means what, pero means but, es means is, hotel means hotel, sí means yes, cine means movie theater, comida means food, oso means bear, otro means another one, hospital means hospital, doctor means doctor, profesor means professor, uno means one, two means you, puro means pure, Agüero, this is a last name, like Sergio Agüero. Güira is an instrument, a musical instrument that is normally used in Cuban music. It creates a percussive sound. Then, okay, silent in we, in ge, and gi. So you don't pronounce the, you just pronounce ge, and you pronounce gi. For example, guerra, guitarra. Okay. The Y in Spanish is just an E. E, soy, I. So, okay, this one means, guerra means war, guitarra means guitar, E means and, soy means I am, I means there is. Okay. All right. So let's continue. This is what we just read. So consonants, B and V, they sound the same in Spanish. There's no V sound in Spanish. So the B in bold, when they occur at the beginning of a breath group, when they begin at a breath group or following L, M, or N. Softer elsewhere pronouns. Softer elsewhere produced through slightly open lips. Okay, so let's show you some demonstrations. So remember that this is like the B in bold. Baño, burro, embargo, alba, el vino. Remember that there's no vino in Spanish. It's pronounced vino with a B, with this B right here. El voto, invierno, Cuba, la boca, Habana, la vaca. So baño means bathroom, burro means donkey, embargo means, it's the same as in English, embargo. Alba, I have only heard that one on the last name of somebody. So for example, the soccer player from Spain, Alba. El vino, the wine. El voto, the vote. Invierno, winter. Vamos, let's go. Cuba means Cuba. La boca, mouth. Habana, Havana, Havana. La vaca, the cow. In Spanish, the B and V have the same sound. So that's what I was speaking about. They both have the same sound. The sound of English, V, does not exist in Spanish. Again, as I said, this V right here does not exist in Spanish. So I guess a very simple example is like victory. In Spanish is victoria. Victoria. They are spelled almost the same. Okay, so C, the C in cat before A, O, U. So when you have a O, or a U before the C, it's going to sound more like a C in cat, or like the K in Kellogg's. So for example, camisa, color, concreto. Okay, so shirt, color significa color, concreto means concrete. Before a consonant. Okay, so the S in cell before E or I. So if you see this E after the C, it's gonna sound more like an S in cell. Centavo. Or if you have an I, it's gonna sound like an S as well. Cita, cinco, chocolate. Okay, I'm jumping the gun. So okay, so the CH in chum, that's how you pronounce it. CH, chum. Chocolate, chorizo. So chocolate means chocolate, chorizo means chorizo. Centavo means cent. Cita means date. Cinco means 5. All right. Let's go to the next one. All right, so the D has two sounds. The D in dog, when it occurs at the beginning of a breath group, or following L or N, the TH in other elsewhere. To be honest, I have never noticed this sound in Spanish from Mexico. I grew up in Mexico, and mostly you just pronounce the D all the time, just like in dog. But I guess it has a little bit of TH. So let's pronounce these words. Donde means where. Falda, falda means skirt. Conde, conde means it's more like a ruler, some kind of ruler. Like a king or something like that. The TH in other elsewhere. Boda, boda. I guess, yeah, it has a little bit of tongue on the tip of your teeth. So it's boda, poder, verdad, nada, cada, estudio. Yeah, I guess it does have a little bit of th. Boda means wedding. Poder means power. Verdad means truth. Nada means nothing. Cada means each. Estudio means studio. Okay, so the F is just the same as the English F. Futuro, fila, oficina. So futuro means future. Fila means aisle. It also means queue. Oficina means office. The G in game. The G in game before A, O, and U. So if you see the G before the A or O or a U, it's gonna have this sound as in game. Gato, gusto, grande. Actually, I rolled that R. And grande. Okay, so let's go. Or before a consonant, the H in hat before E or I. So if you see the E, just like here, after the G, this is gonna have a sound like an H. Okay, so genio means genius. It also means genie. Género, gitano. Género means genre, like genre of music. Gitano, I don't know what's the word in English. Gitano, not sure. Okay, gato, because it's before the A with a game sound, and H sound if it's before the E or the I. So, genio, generoso, gitano. Okay, the H is silent. In Spanish, okay, so you don't pronounce this as in hombre, you pronounce hombre, and you don't pronounce this H. It is silent. Hasta, hablar. Hombre means man, hasta means until, y hablar means to talk. The J, English, H. It can also be given a slightly guttural sound. So, okay. So we have Juan, ojo, mujer. So this J in English, the H in English doesn't have that guttural sound. In Spanish, you have a little more guttural sound. So you can put some emphasis, and Spanish speakers do often, but it doesn't sound bad if you just pronounce it as the H in English. So let's pronounce it with a little guttural sound. Juan, ojo, mujer. So that's a little bit of guttural sound. Okay. K, English K. So the same as in English. Kayak, kilómetro, kiwi. So kayak is the same as English. Kayak. Kilometro means kilometer. It's 1,000 meters. Kiwi the same. It's the fruit. L, English L, but with the tip of the tongue touching the roof of the mouth. So the L in English is more like L, without touching too much the top of your on the tip of your tongue. So let's pronounce it and see if you can get it. El. Oh yeah, so you touch the top of your mouth with the tip of your tongue. So el, hotel, mil, palo. Okay, so el means he, hotel means hotel, means mil means 1,000, palo means stick. Okay, double L or double L, the Y in beyond, or in some countries the S in pleasure. Okay, so caballo, this is how you pronounce it in countries like Mexico, El Salvador, other not Uruguay. This sound, the S sound, is more typical of places like Argentina or Uruguay. So, okay, so caballo, bello, llave. So caballo means horse, bello means beautiful, llave means key. And how would you pronounce it in Argentina? It would be caballo, bello, llave. All right. The M, English M. So the same as English. Menos, cama, morrón. So menos means minus, cama means bed. Actually, it's marrón. Dije morrón. I said morrón, but it's actually marrón. Marrón, which is the color. It's kind of brownish kind of color. The N, English N. Nota, nación, nariz. Nota means note. Nación means a nation. Nariz means nose. Okay, it's what's over here was much easier to read over here. So en nota, nación, nariz. Then this word, this letter doesn't exist in English, but it's pronounced, it's called ñ, and it's pronounced as cañón, cañón, canyon in English, or onion. So let's give you an example. Mañana, España, señor. Okay, mañana means tomorrow. Tomorrow. España means Spain. Señor means Mr. P, English P, but not explosive. So see how I pronounced it? Plosive. It's that's how English and Spanish doesn't have that without the puff of air in the English sound. So papel, persona, pobre. So it's kind of softer. Okay, so then the Q, the K in key, found only in the combinations of key, K-U-E and K-U-I. So this is the only places how you're gonna find it. Quito, queso, equipo. Quito means like to take away. Queso means cheese. Equipo means team. Okay, so it's pronounced just like a K in key. R, the DD in ladder, ladder. A single tongue flap. Okay, so just one flap. Caro, barato, para, hablar. So, caro means expensive. Barato means cheap. Para means for. Hablar means to speak. The R at the beginning of a word or after L, N, or S is trilled like RR. So kind of like, okay, exaggerated. So at the beginning of the word rosa, el río, Enrique, because it's after the N. So, okay, las rosas, it's beginning of the word, rosas. Okay. Okay, the double R, a trio or tongue roll. There's no equivalent sound in English. This is why it's so difficult to explain this word in English. And it's because the double R does not exist in English and the sound does not exist in English. So you're just going to have to do your best to pronounce it, and hopefully you'll get it. So, okay, double R. Perro. Perro. Horrible. Carro. So without exaggerating the double R, it's like this. Perro. Horrible. Carro. Yeah, it's actually it rolls pretty well. So it means dog. Perro means dog. Horrible means horrible. Carro means car. All right, so how to pronounce the S? It's the same as English S. So the same as the S in English. Sopa, salsa, blusa. So soup, no, it's not salsa, it's sala. Sala means living room. Blusa, blusa is normally like a shirt for women. So that's a blusa. T, English T, but with no explosiveness. So also the T in English is very explosive. So with the tip of the tongue against the back of the upper front teeth. So tip of the tongue, the back of the front teeth. Okay, torta, talento, tesoro. So in English, the T is more like with this word right here, tip. Tip is very explosive, and in Spanish it's not as explosive. And you place the tongue on the back of your front teeth. Torta, talento, tesoro. All right. The V in Spanish is just the same as a B, as in bold. Okay, so we already spoke about that. There's no V sound in Spanish. W, the letter W exists in Spanish only in words of foreign origin and is not considered part of the Spanish alphabet. Okay, so this one you're just gonna find it in languages from foreign countries. From, I don't know, in English, there's a lot of English words in Spanish as well, and they have adapted those, and they're normally pronounced as a U, or very similar to you would pronounce it in English, like the word Stewart, like Jon Stewart. It will be pretty much the same. The X, English X. Okay, so experto, examen. Experto means expert, examen means exam. The Y, Spanish double L, the Y in beyond, or in some countries, the S as in pleasure. So these countries that they're speaking about over here, where it has a sound like an S, is mostly South America, and it's mainly Uruguay and Argentina. So let's pronounce these examples: papaya, papagayo, ayer. So papaya is a fruit. It's like a orange fruit. It's very, very sweet, delicious, with black seeds inside. Papagayo. Not 100% sure this one on this, but I think it's a rooster. Ayer means yesterday, and how you would pronounce it in places like Argentina is papaya, papagayo, ayer. The Z in Spanish, this Z doesn't exist really. The sound is just the same as the S, as in cell. Azul, brazo, luz. So azul means blue, brazo means arm, luz means light. All right, so let's move to the next one. Stress, written accentuation and spelling natural stress. Okay, so words that end in a vowel, A, E, I, O, U, or the consonants N or S, have their natural stress on the next to last syllable. So next to last, so this is the last, this is the one before the last. So next to last. And here's where you're gonna place the accent. This is the natural stress, the natural accent. So let's pronounce it, cucaracha. And this is for words that end with a in a vowel, A, E, I, O, U. So, cucaracha, mañana, triste, hablo, volumen, and this one over here, because we have this rule right here. So, or the consonants N or S, N and S. Okay, so we have the vowels over here. Now we have N and S. So, volumen, examen, tomates. Words that end in any consonant other than N or S have their natural stress on the final syllable. Final syllable. So we have a D, which is not an S or an N. Salud. Amistad. These are the exceptions to N or S. Papel. Vegetal. Azul. Mujer, cantar, doctor, nariz. Okay, so let me translate these words so you know what they mean. Cucaracha means roach. Mañana means tomorrow. Triste means sad. Hablo means to talk. Volumen means volume. Examen means exam. Tomates means tomatoes. Salud means health. Amistad means friendship. Papel means paper. Vegetal means vegetable. Azul means blue. Mujer means woman. Cantar means to sing. Doctor means doctor. Nariz means nose. Written accents. When a word does not follow one of these two rules, so okay, the two rules that we spoke about earlier, if a word does not follow these rules, it will have a written accent on the syllable that is stressed. So okay, so this one ends with a no, so you would think that the accent is on this one, this syllable right here, because that's the one before the last. But because this word does not follow that rule, you have to place an accent over here, which is this little sign right there. It's like apostrophe. Okay, so teléfono. And that's where the accent, where the stress lands. Lámpara, the same here, ends with an A. So you would think the stress is on pa, but not here. We have that accent right there. That's where the stress is. Lámpara, música, café. This one ends with an E. So you would think the stress is before that one, before the last syllable, but it's not because we have that accent. Café, canción, lección, difícil, fácil. Okay, so teléfono means phone, lámpara means light, música means music, café means coffee, canción means song, lección means lesson, difícil means difficult, fácil means easy. All right, so when you have words that do not have the stress, where we learn with the rules before this, you place an accent, and the accent is this little symbol. If a one-syllable word has a written accent, it means that there is another word in the language that has the same spelling, but another meaning. So, for example, here we have two words that are exactly the same. Okay, but they mean two different things. And that's why you use the accent on them. So when you have one syllable word, but it has two meanings, then the second meaning, you have it with the accent. So for example, el, the, el with an accent, they are pronounced exactly the same. Means he. El with an accent, he. El without an accent, the or the. Si without an accent, if. Si with an accent, yes. Tu without an accent, your. Tu with an accent, you. As pointing at someone, you. Se without an accent, oneself. Se with an accent, I know. All right, I know that's gonna be difficult, but you have to memorize it. You just have to memorize it. There's no other way. If a two-syllable word has a written accent that does not affect the pronunciation, it means that there is another word that has the same spelling but a different meaning. So okay, so remember that rule that we learned earlier. So if it ends with a vowel, then the natural accent or natural stress is on the syllable before the last. Okay, so before this one. So example, este. But now we're learning over here that when we have two words that they have two different meanings, but the stress does not change, so it stays on the same syllable, then that means that there's two words with two different accents. Este means this. Este with an accent means this one. Ese means that without an accent. Ese with an accent means that one. All right. You're gonna have to learn that ones by memory as well. Interrogative words have an accent mark that does not affect pronunciation. Okay, so interrogative words like what, who, where, they have an accent, and that accent does not affect the pronunciation. So, ¿qué? What? ¿Quién? Who? ¿Dónde? Where? ¿Cómo? How? ¿Por qué? Why? ¿Cuál? Which? Spelling changes. Spelling changes. Okay, so Z to C. And this happens a lot in Spanish. So nouns and adjectives that end in Z change to C to form the plural. Okay, so if a word ends with a Z, like lápiz, and you want to turn it into a plural, then it's going to change into a Z, a C. That Z is going to change to a C. So el lápiz, the singular, now plural, los lápices. And see that? The C changed, the Z changed into a C. La nariz, singular, las narices. And there you go, that's the C. Feliz, felices. All right. So los lápiz, el lápiz means the pencil. Los lápices means the pencils. La nariz, the nose. Las narices, the noses. Feliz means happy. Felices is when you're talking about two people, they're both happy. So both of them are happy. Z followed by A or O changes to C before an E or an I. The sound of Z and C are the same. So, okay, so we have over here the za, but it's followed by an A or an O. For example, empiezo. It's going to change to a C. And it's going to be before an E or an I. So, let's do this. Comienza, comience, and that Z changed into a C. And it's because it was followed by an A or an O. Empiezo, empiece. So, okay, comienza means to begin. Comience means you begin. Empiezo means I begin. Empiece means you begin. All right. And so you're going to change that Z into a C because you're going to change that A into an E or that O into an E. And that's the rule. Other spelling changes. All other spelling changes occur in order to maintain a required sound. Tocar, for example, has a hard C sound that must be preserved in other forms of the verb. If you see toque with KU replacing the C, it is to maintain the K sound. Okay, so tocar, when you refer, you're going to change it to toque, like you play. Tocar means to touch, but also means to play, like an instrument. So tocar is to play. Toque means you play. and you're gonna, in order to preserve that K sound, you're gonna change it to a Q and a U and a E and an E. Toque. Llegar, for example, has a hard G sound. Hard G, llegar, which must be preserved. If you see llegue with GU replacing the G, it is to maintain the hard G sound. Okay, so the reason why they're doing this is because otherwise, if you pronounce llegue without the U over there, it will be pronounced llege because of rules that we learned before. So the G before the E or the I is pronounced more like an H in English. So llege. But in order to preserve this sound from the original word, so llegar, we change it. We spell it this way to preserve the ga sound. So llegar, llegue. All right. And the same is true over here. Tocar, if we just leave it like a C and an E, it will be tose. That's how you would pronounce it. But because we want to preserve that K sound, we change it to Q-U-E. And that's how we preserve the K sound. Castilian Spanish. There are only a few differences in pronunciation between the Spanish spoken in Latin America and that is spoken in Spain. So I'm from Latin America, and yes, I know that there's a difference in how both of us speak. So both the C that precedes E or I and the Z have the TH sound heard in English thought or thing. So for example, let's see, we don't have any examples over here, but said on the C, when you have an E or an I, for example, ceder means to allow somebody else to do it. So you would pronounce it, would be a C and an E. In Spanish from Spain would be ceder, ceder. Or cita, like a date in Spanish. Cita is like a Latin American C. In Spanish from Spain would be cita. O la Z, como el zorro, would be theta, el zorro, like the TH sound. Okay. When J or G precedes E or I, it has a slightly more guttural sound. Okay, so it is the Spanish, the ones that have this guttural sound more pronounced. Like for example, gesto means, which means a facial expression. Gesto, that's what it means. It's spelled with a G. It'll be like gesto. Or with an I, it's like girasol, which is a flower. Girasol would be like girasol, something like that. It will be more guttural. Tips for pronunciation. While practicing, remember to keep the vowel sounds short and clear. Always use the Spanish R sound. Resist the use of the English R. So you know it's gonna be hard. I'm not gonna lie. It's even hard for me. I learned English when I was older. So the R for me has always been a problem. And I think it's going to be a problem for you and to try to learn the Spanish R, because it's not exactly the same as the English R. But you can do it. A lot of people have done it, and you too. Implode the sound of P and T. So as I said earlier, the P and the T are a little bit softer, not as explosive. Make sure there is no puff of air. Always pronounce Z like the letter S. Give the syllables an almost equal emphasis, a sort of staccato sound. Pronounce every syllable clearly and precisely in order to develop an even speech pattern. So yeah, this is gonna come with practice. You're gonna have to read out loud at home, and yeah, just keep practicing and with those rules that I taught you. That's gonna help a lot. All right, so the alphabet, el alfabeto o abecedario, and this is how you pronounce the words in Spanish. Okay, so I'm gonna teach you A, B, C, Ch, D, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, L, M, N, Ñ, O, P, Q, R, R, S, T, U, V o V corta. I always learn this one as V. W, I mean in Spanish, W or W. Either one. I always learned it as W. X, Y, y Z. So that's how you pronounce it. Again, A, B, C, Ch, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, L, M, N, Ñ, O, P, Q, R, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Greetings and salutations. Hola means hello. Buenos días means good morning. Buenas tardes means good afternoon. Me llamo Susana. My name is Susan. ¿Cómo se llama usted? What's your name? Me llamo David. My name is David. Mucho gusto. Pleased to meet you. ¿Cómo está usted? How are you? Bien, gracias. ¿Y usted? Fine, thanks. And you? Regular, más o menos. So, more or less. Hasta luego. So long. Hasta mañana. Until tomorrow. Hasta pronto. See you soon. Adios. Goodbye. Alright, so let's pronounce it over here. Again. Hola. Buenos días. Buenas tardes. Buenas noches. Me llamo Susana. ¿Cómo se llama usted? Me llamo David. Mucho gusto. ¿Cómo está usted? Bien, gracias. ¿Y usted? Regular, más o menos. Hasta luego. Hasta mañana. Hasta pronto. Adiós. All right, friends. That's it for today. I hope you found this very helpful. And I'll continue posting more videos like this if you're interested. And hopefully we'll do this again. See you. Bye.